Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back to you again with an emergency reading. So, the Super Bowl just aired, and everyone is wondering if it's rigged. So, I'm not gonna lie, I got weird vibes. So I'm excited to do this reading myself. But for those of you that don't know, I was right about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I'll put a link to my last reading on them. But I told you that Travis Kelce was going to have a temper, and Taylor Swift was going to get upset about it because she didn't know. And that's exactly what happened. He allegedly pushed the ref, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, he's aggressive." And then I also told you that if you knocked on his head, it would echo, because I saw him as being intellectually challenged, and he went viral for screaming "Viva Las Vegas" like a weirdo and not making any sense, and also not knowing Taylor Swift's lyrics. So was right about that too. So I want to do a reading on if the sports bowl was rigged. Now, for you guys that don't know, apparently the sports bowl was like really close and it went into overtime, and people are like, it's giving the refs rigged it and rigged the whole season so that Taylor Swift's man will be there. Listen, basically the theory is that they use Taylor Swift's fame and the Travis Kelce thing to make sure that the Super Bowl was like the most watched in history, so they can make the most money off advertisers. That's the theory, which kind of, I mean, maybe it makes sense. We're gonna do a reading to see. But for those of you that are wondering, I did not watch the Super Bowl at all because I am not going to watch. First of all, you're not going to get me to watch an ad. Like why would you trick me into watching an ad? Not doing that. I don't care. Second of all, I ordered Chinese food and then got myself into a food coma and went to bed. And then I woke up and the sports bowl was over. So I slept through it all. So I'm probably the best person to do this reading because I didn't watch it, so I'll be unbiased. So remember, these readings are all alleged friend tapers only, and let's get started. And if you guys like this, you can join my YouTube memberships, the $5, $10, $15 tier, get access to the big car story times waiting for me. Okay, so let's see. Was the sports bowl bugged, rigged? The way I don't care. Okay. Yes. Well, that was easy. Absolutely. All alleged friend tapers only, but yes. So, yes, but not as straightforward as you would think. So, there's a lot of money behind the sports bowl. We get that. The Three of Cups is upright, which tells me that I don't think it was rigged in which these are the two teams that needed to go to the finals. What's giving me rigged, the Three of Cups is like jealousy, gossip, distrust, disloyalty, right? And the Knight of Swords is impure intentions, and the Chariot is about halting and a stopping. This to me is a rigging in a sense of there's at least three teams that are making sure that other teams don't advance. So it's not rigged in a way in which, oh my God, we need to get to the top. It's rigged in a way in which you would think of like a Survivor Alliance, where there's at least three teams, and maybe they're owned by similar people or people that know each other, the same person. But all I know is there's at least three teams that are like, we're going to make sure that the others don't make it so that we do. So we will like rig things in a way and push things in a way just to make sure that the others don't get. So there's a reason why we're having the same team twice in 2 years, right? So like there's a push for that. The Knight of Swords says that, yeah, we're using shady tactics. The Chariot's reverse though, which tells me we're stopping people from success. We're not pushing ourselves to success. I also see the Three of Cups as like trading. The Strength card is reversed, the Hierophant's reversed, and the Three of Swords reversed. So predicting the worst before it began, or predicting heartbreak before it began, a lack of follow through, and the Strength card is vulnerability. Very strategic about trading as well, or about who's on whose team. There's a very strategic element before a season starts where players are shifted or traded or whatever, and they're making sure that certain teams remain shit. So that's really where like the rigging is. It's like making sure that we do what we need to do to get where we need to get. I also think that there's Taylor. Okay, I knew she'd show up. So I think that they definitely, here's what I think happened. I think that they were trying to figure out a way to get people to be interested in the sports bowl and in sports again, because it's not that it was an irrelevant thing, and people are interested, but it definitely didn't have the social media hype that it used to have. And so there was absolutely a talk of how can we get people to talk about this again? I know a lot of people are like, oh, Taylor Swift is in on it. Taylor Swift is in on it. Maybe to some extent, but the way I see this is like they knew that Taylor Swift was a great angle to talk about this. And if there's anyone that I'm going to accuse of using someone for social media attention, it's going to be Travis Kelce to Taylor Swift. If there's anyone, like I can see Travis being pushed by other people to be like, you should keep pushing Taylor. Like you should try to seek out Taylor. Like I think she would be a really good tool to promote the NFL and to promote things. Like I think you should. I think it's a good thing. And I think Travis, being the airhead that he is, like, okay, whatever you say. Like he just gives me Popeye. Like, okay, whatever you say. Like, and he saw starry eyes. And so I think I'm going to make a bold claim here. And you guys are going to get mad, but you're always mad at me. But I think Travis Kelce clout chased. And that's just how I feel. And I'm not Taylor's biggest fan all the time. I like her some days and some days I don't. I'm just very upfront and honest. Overall, I kind of enjoy her, to be honest. But lately she's not my favorite person. But I think Travis Kelce is a clout chaser in this instance. And I think that there was a push from the people behind him in the NFL and things like that to, court her and to get her to talk about. But here's the thing. Again, Taylor Swift is not innocent either, because let's be very clear here. Miss Swift herself knew that this was a rebound to get everyone mad. And, I think Travis does like her. I mean, I don't think he completely hates her. I think he does like her, and I think he enjoys her, but I think he enjoys the fame more. So it's like they both kind of used each other. Even though I think that both of them kind of like each other, they both use each other. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, sometimes couples make it past that phase. I mean, I think of Trisha Paytas, where she first got with her husband and it was like a spiteful thing to make someone mad, but then she ended up falling in love with him. So maybe that'll happen for the two of them, but you're not going to convince me that he didn't see fame first. Granted, I mean, maybe there's an argument to be made that if you're dating someone like Taylor Swift, you're going to always see fame first because she's like the most famous person on the planet, but whatever. Anyways, the long story short is that there was absolutely a push to get us talked about on social media. And I think Taylor Swift would be a good way to do it. You should talk to her. You should talk to her. You should talk to her. So that was the initial push. I see that. As far as the actual game, Seven of Swords is a victory at all costs. The Four of Cups reverse and the Two of Swords reverse. What's interesting is I see two competing teams that are both using dirty tactics to get ahead. And so I definitely see, I don't know. Rigged is a big word. I see both sides. You know how in the Grammys, in order to win a Grammy, you have to suck up to the Academy and do things for the Academy, give them tickets, wine and dine them, private concerts, things like that. You have to really politics, right? You have to kind of schmooze up to them, whatever, right? That's kind of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing both teams schmoozing up to the refs and doing things doing favors for the refs or bribing the refs and things like that, and bribing the organizations. I see them both doing that. And what's interesting here is that the Two of Swords reverse and the Four of Cups, which tells me that it's almost like close but no cigar. You want me to say no to this, but I'll say maybe to this. So it's I'm not going to full blown do what you said, but I'm going to do close enough. And then the Eight of Swords is upright, the World is reversed, and the Death card is reversed. If anything, I don't know if I would say that the Death card is reversed, the World is reversed. Fuck, how do I say this? Yes, I think that there were bribery, but I think that the organization and the refs, they have their own agenda. For me, even though technically they are kind of helping them, they have their own agenda. It's if they were their own organization, where their goal was to make this game as close as possible at any cost. So their goal was just to get people to watch the whole sports bowl and to make it as close as possible because that always gets more viewers. The Six of Pentacles is upright, the Fool is upright, and the Two of Cups. So to me, this is all about contracts. I don't know if people get paid more for certain quarters, because the Six of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Two of Cups tells me like if you get this many blank at this time, you make more money or something. Maybe it's gambling, but it feels like it might be more than just that. But there's definitely some sort of push to like certain quarters and certain quotas I'm seeing need to be hit for the length of time. I'm wondering it has to do with getting people to watch the commercials. I mean, granted, look, if you think that a sports game is actually honest and fair when there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars at stake, you're very naive and I feel very sorry for you. And I know sports fans are going to get mad at me when I say that, but one day you will grow up or mature enough and realize that money rules everything. And that even if you think that sports is mostly fair, you're delusional if you think that an event that is worth millions of dollars is not going to be influenced. And I'm sorry that I had to break that news to you and that you are that naive, but I have a river to sell you. Anyways, denial. So the Empress is reversed, the Five of Cups upright, and the Five of Pentacles is reversed. And so I'm also seeing someone getting overshadowed on purpose. So there's someone here that wanted some sort of fame or some sort of notoriety that was overshadowed by the Taylor Swift thing on purpose. They were competing with something or someone else. I don't know if it's another organization or what it was, but there's someone that they were trying to overshadow. Yeah, there's some other either celebrity or organization they were trying to overshadow. Because the Star is there and the Page of Swords reverse the Four of Pentacles. It's like if NFL was at war with baseball. Like it's like weird. It's like we're the best. We're gonna show you the best. It's like competitor brands. It's like if there were two competitor brands, like we both make chocolate. Whose chocolate is better? That's the vibe. I don't know why I brought up chocolate, but that's what I thought of. So maybe that's a sign. The Two of Pentacles reversed, the Seven of Wands reversed, and the Knight of Pentacles is reversed. I actually think that something went wrong with their initial plan. So I didn't watch the sports bowl, so sorry, don't care. But someone was playing inconsistently. Knight of Pentacles is inconsistency. The Two of Pentacles, you didn't do what you were told or what you're paid to do. And the Seven of Wands says you're not the underdog, so what the fuck happened? So someone wasn't playing very well and pissed them off. I don't know if that's actually Travis. I don't know if that's another player. I'm going to be honest, the only player I know is Travis because of Taylor, so I'm not really helpful here. So if you watch the show, you can tell me, but I'm clueless. I won't be able to put this together. But someone was playing inconsistently and caused a lot of problems with the plan. I think they had to redo some of the plans afterwards. If I'm seeing like a deliberation that took longer than it should have took, and that's when the conversation happened with what do we do? Our player's not doing what he needs to do. There's almost like there was a long break or something, a longer than necessary break. Now the Queen of Wands reversed, the Ace of Wands reversed, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So that's Return of the Old. I'm also seeing some sort of issue here. Oh, this is Taylor Swift. I know there were rumors that they were trying to get her to play the Super Bowl. I think that Taylor Swift is someone who there's definitely someone she wants to do business with. So I don't know if this is the NFL itself. I don't know if this is the Super Bowl, or I don't know if it's a company that worked for the NFL or sponsored NFL. But Taylor Swift definitely is using her leverage here to get a better contract and deal with someone. So it's almost like, that's why I'm not sure if it's actually performing at the Super Bowl and if maybe they're going to give her a better contract next year and she performs next year or what it is. I'm not really sure what this is, but what I can tell you is that she was presented with a bad option and said no, and is using the leverage from the NFL to get a better contract this time. I feel like it has to do with a brand or a business owner, because what I'm seeing is like I'm seeing like an old white man in my mind's eye, which makes me feel like it's just someone who owns a company. It's a very important person. And so I see her kind of being motivated by spite and revenge, queen, me, in that aspect. there's also a woman that she is competing with. Because we're looking at the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. So Taylor Swift is a Queen of Wands. She's a Sagittarius, right? And so there's a Queen of Pentacles. So that's a potential earth sign. Could be a Virgo, Capricorn, or a Taurus, or it's just another person in the industry. Sometimes Queen of Pentacles is just someone that makes a lot of money and is successful. So it could be someone else in the industry. But she is absolutely at odds with this person, and she's competing with this person 1000%. It's the Ace of Wands is the return of old. So there, I wouldn't necessarily say there's old beef, but there's definitely something old that I feel like this person it was around or adjacent to that is resurfacing and that she's competing with. So it's not like she hates this person. It's not like she necessarily has a problem with this person. It's just that this person is an obstacle in her way, and she doesn't have a legitimate reason to dislike this person, but she's competitive with them and she will find a reason eventually. Cause like I would love to say that it's healthy competition, but it's not. There's definitely a bit of like, I need to be the best. The Devil card's reversed, the Knight of Wands upright, and the King of Cups. She should be careful. Because the Devil card's reversed, the Knight of Wands, and the King of Cups makes me feel like both of them were gunning for something. It feels very political to me. It's like both of these people were gunning for something with the NFL, and gunning for like business connections with the NFL. And I think she's overestimating her cards and she's playing them too hard. And so she needs to be careful, because this energy makes me feel like there's like a big bad, basically. Like there's someone here who's more powerful, who's been letting her do her thing, but she's very close to stepping on their toes. And when she steps on their toes, it's game on and it's game over. And so I would be a little concerned if I were her, because, you know, she's a PR master, but against this conglomerate that I'm seeing over here, you have no chance. Like, you want to talk about someone who could spin PR? They're way better than you are at it. So for me, I feel like she's walking in naively and completely blind. I think that she's not thinking as clearly as she is. Taylor's mind is not what it used to be. She's not as sharp as she used to be. It's weird. She's getting sloppy. Like, I'm in her. Oh, no. The Devil card. So the Swifties have been adding me in this, and I've been ignoring it, but now I'm wondering if they're onto something. Taylor Swift is sluggish and slow in my mind's eye and getting sloppy. And I'm like, sloppy is not a word I would ever use to describe Taylor. So why am I seeing sloppy? And the Swifties have been adding me in this shit, and I've been ignoring it, but I'm starting to wonder if they might be onto something with her kind of being really, you know, not necessarily, I don't necessarily think she has a drinking problem, but perhaps maybe she's, you know, drinking a little too much or just indulging a little too much and partying a little too hard. Because, you know, I mean, she went through a serious breakup for 6 years. So, you know, her using, you know, fun to, you know, self-soothe is not uncommon. So I don't think she's a bad thing for her doing that. Because I was ignoring the Swifties because I was like, oh, well, she's just partying. Like, if I had to be at the Grammys, I'd be drunk too. If I had to be at the NFL, I'd be drunk too. But now that I'm seeing her sluggish and sloppy and making mistakes, it's not like her. And I'm like physically seeing her slow. And then the Devil card here, Wheel of Fortune, Ten of Cups, and the Hangman is like having to let go of things. This would be like risky moves, and the Ten of Cups is like her family and her environment. I'm just wondering if maybe she's like been partying a little too hard, and that's why. And so we're not beating the accusations of her, you know, sort of self-soothing with maybe alcohol and partying and her friends and stuff. I'll just leave it there. I mean, I don't necessarily know if I would say the words like, oh, she's an addict. I think it's a little strong and a little dramatic, but I do think that she might be self-soothing. Eight of Cups, Page of Pentacles reverse, and Ten of Swords, and that's self-sabotage. So, yeah. excuse me, definitely a self-destructing, self-sabotaging behavior. But yeah, anyways, as far as the NFL is concerned, somewhat rigged, I guess, is probably the best way to say it. There's just too much money on the line. There's a new bitch in town, though, when it comes to the NFL. The Eight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Reverse, and Hermit tells me that there's someone that they're grooming to be the next Travis Kelce. He seems younger. King of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles. There's a massive amount of PR that's about to come straight for this other NFL player next year. So you have a new superstar. Well, they're hoping they'll have a new superstar by the end of next year. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if they try to get him to date someone famous. You know how like the Kardashians always date like a famous NFL player or a ball player or whatever, sports? That's what it's giving. So there's definitely someone here that they're trying to push. You're going to start to see the NFL kind of do the Kardashian effect where they try to make their star athletes celebrities, because they haven't done that for a long time. We haven't really had too many sports players that were celebrities. And so they're going to start to do that more. Now that they've seen the success with Travis Kelce, they're going to start to do that more, because this is how they're going to make more money, because it's all about money. And so it definitely looks like that's what they're going to start to do. Yep, you're going to start to see this. So for all of my sports fans, if you are sick and tired of Taylor Swift, get ready, because there's going to be more of this, because there's too much money to be made from this. And Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are the blueprint and the prototype and the test that worked. You're going to see a lot more of this. The Six of Cups, the Six of Wands, the Sun is reversed, which is like the old returning. So you're going to start to really see like them talking about the people that are dating, like dating celebrities, like their dating lives are going to be out in the open. It's not going to really be about the talent and as much anymore. It's not going to be about the game or the skill set as much anymore. It's going to be about the fame and the celebrity. So you're going to be angry at me for saying that, but it is the truth. You're also going to be seeing a lot more, and you guys are going to get mad at me for this, but the Six of Wands and the Sun is reversed, which tells me that unfortunately a lot of their players are not, you know, if you're an athlete and you're good at what you do, you're not always a movie star. You know, you're not going to look good physically. You're not going to be hot. I'm just going to say it. But they're going to start to now try to groom talent that is good looking. So even though he might not be the strongest person on the team, he's strong enough and he's really pretty, so we can push him. So they are going to be looking at marketability when it comes to looks a lot harder. You're going to see a lot more attractive people pushed. I'm sorry, it's the truth. It's right there. Because the Six of Cups is like what it used to be, which is like a little superficial. Listen, the early 2000s are back. Get over it. Yep, there it is. And then fake PR relationships. So I'm going to leave it at that. Remember, if you like that, you can always join my YouTube memberships, $5, $10, $50 tier. You get access to pick hard short times you can be doing for me. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Antphrodite. Subscribe down below on YouTube. Hit the bell for notification when I upload next. Bye. Bro, I don't want to ever hear about the Sports Bowl ever again. Until next year.